All right, welcome back, listeners. We have Jeremy and Ruei Ann today to join us to discuss the food expenses in tailors. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, John.
Hello,
How are you?
hello.
How are you?
Good. We're finally done with our FYP.
Yep.
Oh, what is FYP? For you page.
I wish. FYP is our final year project that
Oh,
every
final year
degree student
project.
has to do it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought it was like everyone's stressing over like so much about it. They're like, um, not even some people are not even like calling their friends anymore. They're just fully focusing on the finals. Is that true?
Is that true,
Uh,
Jeremy?
I'm not sure about others, but for me, I still call my friends lah.
Oh, okay.
No. Am I your friend? You don't call me.
Okay, moving on. Moving on. So, Ruei Ann, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Oh, yes, sure. Okay, hi everyone. I am Ruei Ann. I am the Director of Members Development in AKPK, and I'm studying mass communication in PR and marketing.
Oh, amazing. I saw you and Jeremy doing the venturous PR.
Yes,
Tell us
that's
more
our
about that.
part of our FYP also.
Oh, that's your FYP. I
Yeah.
thought it was like
Yes.
your own business.
I wish.
How about you, Jeremy? Introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello, I am Jeremy. I am the Director of Events and Logistics of Taylor's AKPK Club. And I'm also studying Bachelor's of Mass Comm in PR Marketing. Yeah, so we are classmates lah.
Basically, we have like two friends joining us and my boss, my boss, Ruei Ann. So I gotta
That's
look
your
good.
fault.
Yeah. So actually,
Yes.
food
Mhm.
expenses in tailors, right, is very broad. So I want to break it down into several questions. So like, I want to just know the background check lah. So like, how often do you guys eat in tailors?
Okay. How often?
Yeah.
I would say for this semester, actually, because we have a lot of multiple physical classes, so probably I would say 2 to 3 times a week.
2 to 3 times a week. Is that a lot? Considering
Yeah.
Would you
'cause like
consider that a lot?
that's a lot for me. I don't really eat on campus. But would you consider that a lot? Like 2 to 3
Yeah.
times on campus?
For Taylor's food, yes, I would say that.
Or for Taylor's food, like so you go outside to eat like at Subway Pyramid or something?
Yes.
Oh, so normally you
That's
do
what
that.
we normally do. Yeah.
Oh, so 2 to 3 times is like 2 to 3 days or just 2 to 3 times in Taylor's?
2 to 3 days a week.
2 to 3 days a week. So in one day, how many times would you eat on Taylor's? Like the full day or like
Normally,
We'll make sure we eat one day.
like just
One time
once?
on
One time.
campus.
One time in Taylor's per day.
Yes.
So for 3 days, 2 to 3 days in Taylor's per week.
Yeah.
yes.
Is
Two
it
to
because
three.
of your
Yeah.
classes or you just feel like it?
Yes.
Just
It's mainly because of our classes, and we will always let ourselves to just eat one time a day in campus. So let's say if we were to go out and eat for dinner, we're just going to go out.
what's the
We're
reason?
not going to stay in Taylor's.
What's the reason?
What's the reason? Taylor's has limited choices of food.
Oh, limited choices of food. But I heard that there's like new restaurants opening up, like Subway. Have you been to Subway before?
Yeah, but Subway is just like you can find it anywhere.
But isn't it bad? Like I went to Subway and it was the happiest time of my life. I spent there for like an hour just eating because it was so nice. Like the fact that there's Subway in campus, isn't it like it's very convenient? There's so many people already, you know.
But you know what's so funny is that they open it like few weeks at the end of our semester, bro.
Like when
Yeah.
when you're leaving, it's always like that. Like when you're leaving, there's always new and better stuff, right?
Exactly. And even A&W. Oh my God.
Okay, but like, how would you rate the overall food experience on campus though? Because for me, right, I would say it's not bad. It's like 6 to 7 out of 10. 6 to 7 out of 10. How would you rate it?
How will you rate it, Jeremy?
Uh, for me, I think the taste is okay, but just the price is a bit.
The price. It's too
Yeah,
much.
the price, yeah, a bit too much.
Like
I agree.
we've talked about the new upcoming venues just now, right? Like Subway is already there. A&W is upcoming, right?
Yes.
I feel like Subway is also pretty expensive lah,
Yeah.
compared to Mama
they-
and
Yeah.
last time I
And so
ordered. Yeah, it's pretty expensive, like 20 ringgit around there, 16 to 20 ringgit.
you add on like the
Subway?
Yes, for one set, it's 21 ringgit.
the
What?
set.
We were discussing the other day, right? We saw the price on Subway and we were like, how much was it, Jeremy? It was 16 ringgit, right? 12.
12 for the the daily one.
Combo,
Yeah,
the daily combo value.
Mm.
Yeah, and it was like probably 8 ringgit back in the days.
Subway?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Really? What days have you lived? Like 1990s?
Good. Like maybe probably just
Few
3
years-
to 5 years ago.
Years
Really?
ago.
And like, okay, how much is one Subway cookie right now?
One Subway cookie? Okay, I saw that one packet's like probably like around 10 ringgit. I'm not sure though.
3 ringgit for
10
wait,
ringgit, 10
a
ringgit.
pack.
Like with 4 6 cookies inside.
Oh.
I'm not sure though.
Ooh.
Let's look up. Let's look up. But overall, in general, right? Like Subway, I mean, like not just Subway. Food retailers are not too affordable, right?
Yes,
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I think it's around 6 to 10 ringgit for cookies for
Perfect.
for
Per
3 to
piece.
6 cookies, 6 to 10 ringgit. We're not sure lah, but like but like what's your standard of cheap though? Because for me, cheap is like less than 10 ringgit, then it's cheap already.
Yes. 10 ringgit is okay lah. I would say.
Less than 10.
So would you consider Taylor's? Okay, we already talked about that it's not cheap, right? So would you consider Taylor's expensive or just borderline expensive or like above cheap only?
Very expensive.
Okay.
Very expensive.
Oh, okay. For me, it's borderline expensive because the price range could go from the price range right now is 15 to 20 ringgit.
Mm.
So that is slightly cheaper than cafe food.
Slightly cheaper than cafe food. So you would rather, if you have a car, you would rather just go to a cafe around Taylor's, right?
Yes, if I have a car, I would rather just go around in some way to get cheap foods that is lower than 10 ringgit.
Cheap foods that's lower than 10 ringgit.
Yes.
But I saw one video from Taylor's college. It was my riser's colleague interviewing people, and people say waffles are pretty cheap there. Waffles.
Oh, yeah. So we were discussing also about this with my friends, right? Last time Taylor's waffle was actually 3.50 and now it's 4 ringgit.
Yeah, isn't it pretty cheap though? Like how big is the waffle? Is it enough for a meal?
For a meal that I would say is like a snack.
A
Yeah.
snack. Oh wow.
But
Okay.
I won't say that 4 ringgit for a waffle is expensive now. I think it's average price. It's more of the food in shops mall.
Shop small.
Yes.
So actually I've never been to the Taylor's Canteen before. Have you guys been to Taylor's Canteen?
Yes,
How is it?
of course. I would say it's just average.
Average. So it's cheap.
It's not
Is it
bad,
cheaper
yes.
than the restaurants?
Which is no, the bottom line expensive, which is the ones that are in shops mall.
How about the canteen though? The Taylor's canteen, is it the same price?
What do you mean by Taylor's
Yes.
Canteen?
Where's Taylor's Canteen?
Taylor's
Which one?
canteen, it's like in the one in the library, I guess.
Oh,
Oh, you mean the Richiamo?
the cafe kind
I
of.
think so, yes.
Oh, that's not a canteen. That's like a cafe that
Yeah.
sells coffee and cakes.
Cakes and like yeah.
How would you,
cheese and-
is it expensive there or?
It's the same price as, okay, wait, it's not the same price as Starbucks, but slightly, I think it's the same price because Richiamo is what do you call that? It's actually a franchise, so you can find it around
Mm.
Malaysia. So I think it's almost the
Mm.
same price around that.
Mm.
the cafes, right?
So basically overall, like Taylor's restaurants within Taylor's, their food are borderline expensive. Maybe it's because of inflation too, but since everything is almost borderline expensive, there's no point of comparing the prices. So let's compare the venues itself. Let's compare the food itself. So, campus is very big, right? So
Yeah.
how do you locate the restaurants? Example, where's Shopee's Mall? Where is other
Oh,
restaurants?
it's very easy. So basically, most of the food restaurants are all in Shops Mall.
Shops Mall.
So yeah, all your Arisan, Starbucks, face to face are all in Shops Mall.
Shops Mall is around roundabout, right? You just see it right away near Starbucks.
Yes, correct.
Right.
It's Starbucks, you know.
How about the ones that's outside Shops Mall? Is it just outside
That's
of Taylor's
in-
already, or are there more stuff?
There are like small little shops, which is like, where the Waffle place? It's called the Norwegian Sandwich, I think.
Okay, I've never heard of the Norwegian Sandwich. Where is it
It-
located?
It's in Block D. It's in Block D.
Block D.
Yes.
I should-
You know where
I
you
should
buy
know
a
that.
waffle? Yeah, that's the place.
Oh, the waffle. So is it
Yes.
is it cheap? Is it cheaper than the restaurants in the Shopee Mall? The Norwegian sandwich?
They don't really sell a full meal. It's
Mm,
more like snacks.
snacks.
So we rarely buy things from there.
Drinks or like waffles, teas, coffees. Yeah.
So mostly in Taylor's, the cheaper ones are actually snacks or like just brunch, like just little meals, people with little portion. So it's suitable for them lah.
Correct.
But people with big portions like me, who eat like two packs every time, it's not suitable lah.
Jeremy too. Yep.
Wow. You just exposed me.
I mean, I guess Shopee's Mall is very beneficial in terms of how close it is to the roundabout and how close it is to like many of the places. It's more it's close to the central place of Taylor's, which is the roundabout and near the lake, right? And
Yeah.
the fact that it has a lakeside view and you can go chill, look at the ducks, I think it's really good. But what kind of restaurants would you recommend in Taylor's? Because the price, talking about price, is already very useless already. So
Correct.
Um,
I think Jeremy can go first. Yeah.
For me, I think because these days they just open the mixed rice. So but that's not halal lah. So if
Mm.
you are a non-halal eater, I would recommend you to go for that because you can just pick whatever you want. And then yeah. So no matter if you're a big eater, then you take more lah. If you're a small eater, then you take lesser.
is
food
it like a
and then-
buffet?
Yeah, you know those like
Oh.
mixed rice style, you just pick whatever you want to eat.
Where's it located?
It's at the which one? The
It's
usual
at
floor.
the Arisan there all the way to the end.
Yeah,
Arisan?
yeah.
Oh, so it's like through the corridors, you surpass JC, you surpass Arisan.
Yes, correct. Yes. At the
Then
end.
at the
All the way.
end. Oh,
Yes,
I've
the
never
very-
been to that
Yes.
place yet.
New shop.
I should probably go there. Is you recommend there, right?
Yeah, I would say it's not bad lah. The price is not like super expensive, I would
Mm.
say.
How about Ruei Ann? What's your favorite venue?
I would say yes, I agree with the mixed rice. That is like one of the cheapest restaurants there because everything is all 15 to 20 bucks. Wow. the mixed rice I can actually get for 8 to 12 ringgit, depending on how much you actually take. So that's actually quite affordable. And maybe another would be in terms of food, I mean, in terms of the taste, if you want to go for Arisan, sure, go ahead. But actually, Arisan increased their price, which is quite pricey, like 15 ringgit. It's so expensive.
Yeah, I think it's because of the depreciation in Malaysian currency, which makes the raw materials more expensive, right? So
Yeah,
I think
and
like
also inflation.
there's a general increase in the price. So I think that's a very
Yes.
inevitable consequence right now in the current situation. But at least we can like try to understand how to manage the food expenses, right? Like try to manage our money, try to manage the budgeting, you know. So I would like to introduce some concepts and we can elaborate more on it. But what we can talk about the budgeting when it comes to food expenses, like we can reduce or we can increase or we can maintain. So reduce is basically we can reduce like how much food we eat, basically, or how much basically it's like sometimes we snack too much, you know. So maybe a little bit of discipline can save you a bit of money.
I don't think that can work on Jeremy.
Sorry.
Is it because of the stress that the FYP is giving you? So you gotta do like midnight snacks, late night snacks constantly to cope with the stress.
Yes, I'm always hungry.
Jeremy's always hungry all the time.
Or maybe you can save up your money like for your FYP so that you can snack during your FYP and during the normal days. Before FYP, you can like not snack too much.
Too late. We're done.
I mean, you know, like some of the people I know, right? They deliver too much. Even if they live in Taylor's hostel. So like their food expense in Taylor's is still like contains delivery fee. So maybe you can like reduce delivery foods because delivery foods are like hella expensive.
Agree.
They charge double service price. So basically restaurant charges the service price on its own and then the delivery charges their service price on its own. So it's like increased by 20-30% from the initial price. So maybe you can reduce delivery. And on the increase side, you can increase if you eat too little, right? Like not like Jeremy lah, but Jeremy is healthy, so it's fine. But like some people eat too little, you know. So maybe you can increase the food expense and reduce on whatever you're spending too much on other things, because basic survival is more like food, water, and what are the other survival factors? Shelter, yes. So like if your shelter is a fixed cost, maybe you can focus on more of the variable costs you have. Like if you're spending too much money on buying skins on games or buying too much games that's costly on Steam, maybe, for example. So you can reduce that and increase more on food expenses. But maintain. What have you guys do you guys have any ideas on maintaining any food expense? Maintaining food expense.
Maintaining food expense. I would say to always go for a cheaper option, buying cheaper foods, like don't go to restaurants, but maybe go to hawker stores to get food. Yeah, those are actually quite cheaper. Like you can get those chicken rice, char kway teow for less than 10 ringgit, definitely.
People say right, those cheap food is like not healthy at all, you know, like some people say that, but how much do you agree on that?
How much do you agree, Jeremy?
Cheap food, is it you mean?
Street food,
street food.
Street food, mamak, anything like that's pretty cheap, right? In Malaysia, people have a recognition that it's not that healthy, you know. Like they use expired oil sometimes, or like they use unhealthy oil, you know. they reuse the oil. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
But I think yes, because actually a lot of the shops are like unhealthy if it's cheap lah. You know, the food, they are cheap. I think they are unhealthy, and I think healthy food are expensive for me lah. For what I've seen and because a lot of shops are really hard because you know it's organic and then they need like a lot of effort and time to do all the organic stuff. Yeah. So I think cheap food is normally unhealthy, I guess.
But why do you think we should eat cheap food, Ryan? Why do you think we should eat? Mama.
Hey, interestingly enough, our FYP client is actually doing healthy food. So we actually had this discussion before of like why expensive food that is organic and all. For me, of course, if you say mama is unhealthy, definitely the amount of calories, and don't eat it every day. It's not good for health. But for like hawker food stores, chicken rice, I'm telling you the truth, I eat that every day. Nobody cooks in my house, so I'm always eating out. And of course, based on the nutrition compared to you cooking yourself, of course it cannot compare, but I would say that the nutrition is still there. It's still healthy compared to mama. And also another thing is, if you go for expensive, yes, it's healthy, but it's really crazy expensive. So why not just use that money to cook for yourself if you are going to go for expensive and organic food?
So if you can cook for yourself, so you're saying it's better, it's cheaper because like you'll be buying ingredients in bulk, basically.
Yes.
And you'll be reusing that ingredient in a fresh state because you have a refrigerator. Everybody has a refrigerator, at least in tailors, right?
And you know what goes into your food, you know, like you wouldn't put MSG into your own food and all that.
You wouldn't use expired cooking oil, at least, in your own food.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, so basically I feel like cooking will be the best choice lah. Like even for the people living in hostel, I don't know how hostel is like. I don't know if you can cook in there.
Yeah, you have your own general. I think you will be sharing the kitchen with your housemates and stuff. So everyone shares the kitchen and you can cook.
Yeah.
Correct. So I feel like if you can really cook, then I feel like you should cook. And you should really learn how to store your ingredients. But of course, like if you're a really busy person and you have no time for yourself to like really cook, and you've tried to make time but you've not been able to make the time, then maybe you can just eat a few days like healthy food, then a few days of like mama hawker food. Then maybe there's a balance. Or maybe if you're spending too much money on other things, like unnecessary stuff, like maybe you can just buy a little cheaper alternative for your phones, but like you're going for your iPhone 13 Max. Maybe that's a little bit of problem. Maybe you need to reduce some parts of it, you know. So I feel like it's cheaper to cook at home in general, but if you still want to eat at tailors, because sometimes you inevitably have to eat at tailors, right? After class, it's your lunch already, and after lunch is already your next class. Then maybe you must have to eat at tailors. Maybe in those inevitable situations, you eat at tailors, but on other circumstances where you have the choice, you can either cook at your house, maybe wake up a bit earlier. If your class is a bit later, you can prepare yourself some sandwich at least, or maybe I don't know, eat a hawker food. What do you recommend? Rock Cafe?
Yes, definitely. That's a go-to place.
Where is it? Subway Pyramid.
No, it's next to Subway Uni.
Subway Uni.
Yes, it's next to it. So yeah, so all the students actually go to Rock Cafe.
So that's like a more cheaper alternative.
Yes.
Like a food court. It's like a hawker stall food court. So you can actually get your meals below 10 ringgit.
Below 10 ringgit. That's
Yeah,
like considered very cheap already in this
exactly.
current world. Okay, so Rock Cafe, any other restaurants?
Any other restaurant? If I were to say outside Taylor's, which is around Sunway area, then it's pretty much cafe food, which I guess is the cost is around food in Taylor's.
Yes.
So Taylor's is basically like it just compressed everything around Taylor's in some way pyramid. So it's the same price, but it's more accessible. That's the benefit of going to
Yes,
venues
that's true.
near
That's true.
Taylor's. So I feel like bringing in franchise brand in Taylor's it's a really good choice because it's making it more accessible to students. So like they don't have to drive all the way to Sunway Pyramid. But if you really want, like if you finish your class early and you really want to go eat outside and you have to go back to your home anyways, maybe you can just drop by to a nearby hawker store, or Mama, maybe. Mama in the morning. What do you think about Mama in the morning?
Why?
Mama in the morning.
Because you also drink Milo, Milo, or like, and a lot of uncles or aunties, they drink coffees. I'm sorry.
How about
Yeah.
chicken rice though? Chicken rice is nice, right?
Yeah,
For
it's
morning
a cheaper option.
lunch.
Cheap, yeah.
Chicken rice is, I think, the best option you can have. Like, you're full actually, and it's pretty
Yeah.
cheap. You don't have to spend that much. Okay, so I think that's the end of the discussion, right? Thank you for joining the podcast today, Ruei Ann and Jeremy. And dear listeners, maybe this opinion in the podcast may be subjective to Ruei Ann's experience and Jeremy's
Yes.
experience and my experience. So don't take it too personally and don't take it like as a golden standard. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.